Let's go to the Northern Territory now. The Chief Minister is calling on the federal government to return the Port of Darwin to Australian hands. Matt Cunningham joins me live. It's 6 months since the government promised to take the port back. What's happening?
Well, that's a good question, Laura. You'll remember at the time the then opposition leader Peter Dutton and the Prime Minister Anthony Albanese were falling over one another to say that they, if elected, would bring the Port of Darwin, leased to Chinese company Landbridge for 99 years, back into Australian hands. In fact, the Prime Minister called into ABC Radio at about 4 o'clock on a Friday afternoon to try to trump Peter Dutton on that very announcement. So while they were in a rush at the time to make that announcement, it appears there's been no rush since the election to get the deal done. We're now 6 months on since that election, and the Port of Darwin remains in Landbridge's control. Finocchiaro, the Northern Territory Chief Minister, is calling now on the federal government to give some clarity around this situation.
At the end of the day, this is about making sure that promise is delivered on. We want action, certainty and security for Territorians, and we can't do that while this huge question hangs in the balance. And so, you know, we work productively with the federal government, but they need to get their skates on. I think there are plenty of options out there and they just need to get moving and make a decision.
You can probably see behind me, Laura, a huge cruise ship that's berthed here at the moment. It's berthed at a terminal that's been significantly upgraded by Landbridge since they took over the Port of Darwin 10 years ago. It was interesting at the Bush Summit about 6 weeks ago. Adam Giles, the Chief Minister who made that deal, said he'd do nothing differently. He said that the infrastructure was failing. It was literally falling into the Darwin Harbour, the Port of Darwin, and that Landbridge had done a good job upgrading that infrastructure since it had taken control of this facility. Finocchiaro, though, says that's water under the bridge. She says that Territorians and Australians want this port back into Australian hands. Now, we've also contacted the federal government. Catherine King, a spokeswoman for her, says that this is an important strategic asset, but she goes on to say that as the port is subject to commercial negotiations, including future port ownership arrangements, we cannot comment further. Landbridge, which has previously said that the port is not for sale, also declining to comment on this stage in those negotiations. But given all the noise that has been made about returning the Port of Darwin to Australian hands, you'd have to say that Landbridge holds the cards at the moment when it comes to those commercial negotiations, Laura.
Certainly seems so. Matt, thanks so much.